Hey guys, this is Chodaros, and today's tutorial is on this really neat bracelet, which is called the Raya bracelet, spelled R-Y-A. This bracelet was designed by Sherry_Ann_Looms on Instagram. Excuse me. And it's pretty cool. So the outside has wrap bands around the perimeter, and you have bling down the center. So this is a full wrap, which is exactly 2 looms in length, and it is just a tiny bit, a little bit big for my wrist, but otherwise it's pretty cool. And here is the back side. So I did something on this one that I'm going to ask that you be cautious on. I did 3 steps of this bracelet in the same color, and when I went to loom up our center chain, I had a lot of difficulty trying to find that band. So, which I'll explain whenever we start. So if you want to do a full wrap, you'll need 24 beaded bands if you're going to add beads. It's just a single chain up the center. If you're doing just one loom, it's 12 beaded bands, and as far as beads, that's all you'll need. The beads that I used in this one in particular, they are 8.5 by 2 millimeter antique silver pewter Dotted Rondelle Spacers. Okay, so I put 3 on each band. So that's what they look like. And I've used these a lot when I do like the angels with the halos. But you can find these on a string at the local craft stores, as far as AC Moore, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and also online, which I have a link below to help you get started. So I'm going to recreate this bracelet here in the tutorial. I've done this tutorial about 3 times already, and for some reason I've mixed up a couple bands, so let's hope this is the one that is for good. So you will need, and I'm only going to do 1 loom because I've already done 1 and 2 looms, but you are going to need your loom set up like this. So it's a 5-pin configuration. Your 1st, 3rd, and 5th pin are aligned, and then 1 peg down, your 2nd and 4th. Okay? So just to give you a view of what's going to happen, you can pick your colors. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay our perimeter and these zigzag bands. Okay, so that would be my black and my orange blaze bands. So after that, then we add like a V-shape band going up, which it's a little difficult to see because I did it all the same color, but the color, or the bands you can see going out to the perimeter, that will be that band. And then obviously your single chain with or without bling, that's another color band if you choose. And then if you see on this one here, I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the one I did without bling, so I can explain better on this one. So if you see, we have these bands that are going across. Those are cap bands that we have to add, so you can make those a different color as well. So for this one here, I used, for the V bands, the confetti, it's either black and white or gray and white. And then for my V bands, which you can see they're wrapped right there, but you can see them better on this side, I used the V bands, I used the confetti, and then my single chain bands I used like an olive green, so you can see it's in the middle, but then for the cap bands I used silver. Okay, so you have a lot of color opportunities. So again, this is the one without the bling, and the one with the bling. Alright, so let's get started. You will need to have your bands already blinged, so if you need to pause the video and bling them, go ahead and do so. So for this tutorial, because I already used the ones I wanted to use, I'm going to use these spacer bands or beads Again, they're just 3 on one band, and that's what they look like. Hopefully I have a link provided below, but these I tore apart a bracelet, and that's how I have those. So I'm not sure what they're called, but I will do the research. Okay, so our first set of bands that we're going to lay will be the perimeter and our zigzag bands. And you have to pay attention to the way we lay them, because we lay them together. It's not traditional where you lay the perimeter band first. So in order to get that look to the bracelet, we need to place them a certain way. So we're starting out from the center peg and going down one to the right and then up one to the right. And then that puts us on our outer pin bar. And then we start with our zigzag. So we place our first zigzag on top of that perimeter color. Now we want to place the perimeter color again. Okay? And then add your zigzag band going up to the left. And then we add our next one going up to the right. Okay, so we're always going to add this V, excuse me, and then add the perimeter band. Okay, so the goal is to make sure that every band on the outer pin bar, the last one is the perimeter color, because in the end, essentially, when we close up our bracelet, we need it to be the perimeter. Okay, so once you add that, you're going to add another V and then a perimeter. So a V and then a perimeter. So we're adding 2 bands and then perimeter. Gonna limb a little bit, or place the bands a little bit quicker to get through. And I have a marker down here, that's why you see that band there, because this is being my 3rd time taping. Yeah. I'm not sure why it happened, but 3 times. Okay, so the second to the last pin is where we're going to stop. So I can take this off now. Okay, so you're going to add your last V going that way, and then a V going this way. Then we add our perimeter band. And then we add our last V like that. Okay? And then we need to take another perimeter, and that one goes diagonal to the left center. And then we take another, and we take it to the center peg. So this peg right here will be where we start looming. And we go ahead and we turn and do the same thing on the other side of our loom. So again, starting in the center, just place your bands in a zigzag out, and then we add our first zigzag band, then a perimeter. Now we start with our 2 V's. 2 V bands. That's not right, I'm sorry. See what I did there? I missed one, that's why. Alright, so once we lay that perimeter band, then we come back and we add that to finish that V off there. Grab some more of my bands here. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so we add the other V band Then we add our perimeter, and that completes that one V. We start the next, and then lay the perimeter. My mind couldn't see this today. I'm not quite sure why. I've had so much difficulty placing these bands. Oof, it's frustrating. Tutorials aren't always that easy to do. I enjoy doing them. I love doing them because it's putting a design out there for everyone to see and so they can make it. So that's awesome, but sometimes they're a challenge. Okay, now we are coming to the end. So we want to add another V-band there. Take that off. And then our second V-band going in. And then we want to add our perimeter band. And then our last V-band like that. And then take your perimeter band going in. And then to the center peg meeting the other side, right there. Alright, so this is what your loom should look like. Okay. And so our next step, excuse me, I am getting a cold. Our next step is to add what I call V-bands. But they're actually placed upside down, so maybe you can call them an arrow. Again, in this bracelet here, the bands that are going to the outwards towards the perimeter, the confetti, that's that band right there. So you do see it. You see it a lot on this side. Alright, so I'm going to use that same color, that olive green. So we're going to start from the second pin bar set, first peg, and take it up, and then do the same on this side here. So fairly simple step. We've done it before. So always ending on the center peg. And then always starting on the next peg in front of where you left off. So every band, every peg will have a band on it. Excuse me. And this will go all the way up into the end. So we have our last one to place, which meets at the center right there. Okay, so go ahead and push all those down. Okay, now this is the time you need your bling bands, or if you're not blinging, just need your bands, band color for your single chain. So I'm going to use these ones right here. So if you're not using bling, imagine that this doesn't have any on it. It's the exact same step. Okay, so you're going to take from this center peg to the next one and place your bling band. Okay, it's what we're going to do the whole way up, but we have to add a cap band on top of it before we move forward. Okay, so you place your first bling band, then you put a cap band, and then you take your next bling band and add it. Okay, And then after you do that, take and put a cap band on it. So every time you add a bling band, you are adding it on top of a cap band in the beginning. So every peg will have a cap band on it. And this is the step where I was trying to explain that I put all the same color on that last bracelet that I showed you. I used the same color for my V bands, the same color for my bling bands, and the same color for my cap band. And so when I went back to loom it, it was really hard to grab the bling band to move forward. It was really difficult to see. But this time I have the beads on silver bands, so it'll put a break in between them. So if you're just doing a single chain, just go ahead and you can fast forward to the next step. I'm sure you've been done 10 minutes now. And this is our last step of the adding bands and beads to the bracelet. Okay, so I put one more cap band here and one more beaded band to meet at the center peg and adding another cap band. So I'm going to add the cap band color to be the same as the rest of them, or you can also put a cap band there to match your border. So that's up to you. So again, that's 12 beaded bands, and make sure that they are all pushed down. And now it's time to begin looming. So the first thing we're going to do is loom up that center chain we just placed. So we have to go inside this cap band, and it's going to be the first band after that, and just loom it forward. But always make sure that you go inside of the cap band. Yeah, see, this is 10. Oops, I grabbed the wrong band. This is 10 times easier that I used a different color from the cap band and this single chain band. I can see it. I really could not see it that I used the same color. It was terrible. Okay, last one. There we go. So we want to push down all of those bands, come back down to the beginning, and the next step is to loom out these V bands. Okay, so it's not traditional, we're not taking it back to itself. So you want to grab the top of V band. Doesn't matter if it's left or right, as long as grabbing the one on top. So traditionally we would take it back to itself, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take it to this left peg over here. Okay, so go back in there and grab the other side of the V, and we're not taking it back to itself, we're taking it to this right peg. Okay, and that's what we do the whole way up. So you always want to make sure that you are grabbing the one that's on top so your bands don't get twisted. So you should have a teardrop and a teardrop, and there's your cap band, so everything's nice and clean. Okay, so we go back in, Remember, you have to go underneath the cap band. So these are the two bottom bands. And we take it over to the side peg. Like that. Okay. I think I grabbed the one on the bottom. Let's try that one more time. Oh, now it's twisted. I don't know how I do it, but I'm good at doing it. I have to come back and fix that one. I apologize if I go off camera. I hope I did not. But I'm trying to loom this where you guys can see it. Alright, we got one more left to do. And there we go. Those are all of our center bands. So you want to go and push all of these down. And then the last step is just to loom out our perimeter and the X bands. But I'm going to go off camera because, excuse me, I need to fix this right here. So I'll be back in a sec and we'll loom that up. Okay, so we're going to do the last step, which is looming out the perimeter. So go from the middle peg and loop both of these bands out, and then after that we're going to go inside here and grab this band and loom it to here. Okay, and then after we loom that one, we do the perimeter going forward like that. Okay, so our goal is to sandwich the orange blaze bands with the black ones. So then we reach back into here and grab that V band and the other one that goes with it. Okay, then after we do that, we take our perimeter and loom it forward. So V band, perimeter, V band, V band, perimeter. So not too difficult, just got to remember to loom it this way or it could fall apart. So now I'm sure you, if you didn't understand before, what I was talking about is why you want to have your perimeter band on the bottom on each outer peg, because once we sandwich in that orange, we move that perimeter forward, it locks all the bands in place. It's a lot easier looming it than it is placing the bands in some ways, because wherever the bands are, you have to bring it back to itself, so kind of figure that out a little bit better than if you place them incorrectly, which I did. Oh, so mad. Uh-oh. Okay. Alright, so we take V-band, V-band, and then our perimeter, and then we take our last V-band, and that goes to this outer corner peg, and then we just simply loom up the perimeter all the way to the center peg there. There we go. So we have, as you can see, when we take it off the loom, and it has the black bands wrapped around, you can see how it's gonna. Alright, so let's go back and do this side. So go in that center peg and loom out your perimeter, and then take your V-band. Now take the next perimeter up, and then take perimeter, perimeter, oops, I'm sorry, V-band, V-band, there we go. So V-band, V-band, perimeter, V-band, V-band, because I'm trying to film, I have to do this, I'm sorry. There we go. Notice how quiet I'm being, because I will mess up if I talk and loom. And I'm not messing this one up. It's my third time. Alright, let's wrap this baby up. So we take our perimeter band up to the last peg, and then we go back in and grab our last V band, take that to the outer peg, and then we have the 2 bands left of the perimeter to loom into the center. Like that. So we are finished. Yay! Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take off my outer bands because I'm not pulling anything on this bracelet. So taking off the outer bands relieves 90% of the tension. So when you go to pull it off, you don't break bands or stretch it out of its original form. And then by doing these outer ones, it could also be, it should be coming off the next row next to it. So don't be surprised. Okay. Just gonna kind of help some of these bands come off, where all I'm left with is my center peg to take off. And you might even want to be very careful with that one as well, because that one has all of your bling bands on it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my perimeter color and put it inside to capture all the bands, and then grab your C-clip. Mine always disappear. I'm going to add my C-clip now, even though I'll have to add an extension, but I think you guys all know how to do an extension. So give it a little tug and a little wiggle back and forth, and it should come right up off the loom. Okay, so you'll need to kind of take the sides and pull on them. Not bad. The bling, that's what I'm looking at. I love the bracelet. I think it's really cool. So now is the time that you want to straighten out any of your bling. If it's, just take the bling, hold it in your hand, grab one side of that band, and you can move it around. Surprising enough, on mine in particular, I think I could have actually got away with using one of those spacer beads instead of putting 3 on there. But I still like it. Looks pretty cool. I hope you are happy with yours. Sorry, I'm going to keep playing with it. Let me see the back. Yep. Alright, so here is the actual one that I intended to make, which I am pretty happy with. My intention was to make these look like spikes, but they might look like flowers, I don't know. But so this is the finished product. I hope you're happy with what colors you used and how yours came out. So please go on Instagram and thank Miss Sherry_Ann_Looms and check out her account, give her a follow for this wonderful design, and be sure to hashtag your renditions to the Raya bracelet, Sherry_Ann_Looms, and Chodaros Bling. And you can also find me on Facebook and do a tag on there as well. So see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.